And latest updates, the book is out. You got to be excited.
Oh yeah, it's going, and I noticed this morning on the sales for Watergrave, which is the book before it, the first book, it's going up as well. So people are trying to get into the series and going on. So I have uh, four signings in the next 2 months: Johnson City, Franklin, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, and the Knoxville area. And then, as you were talking about the YouTube, we're getting a lot of views on there, 6.6 thousand, I think it was. Um, So things are starting to roll, and that's what we're looking for, building that base.
100%. Because when you build that base, that's a huge part of it, right?
Hmm.
The excitement, getting people all excited about what's happening and why it's happening in so many ways.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about like now your phase is out. Now the events come up. What events are coming up?
Well, I have the a book signing in at Barnes and Noble in Johnson City, and last time we were there, we had a good people just walking through, and I had both my banners up, and so they came over, talked to me, and then we got to discuss the book and got some excitement about it, and so I think we sold 25 books there from people we had never met before. So that's a good feedback for me. Then I go to Franklin, which is kind of, I live in Brentwood, which is the sister city to Franklin. And so we're going to have the landmark booksellers there. And last time we had that launch, we did really, really well. So anticipating a big group there. And it starts at 6 o'clock and goes till closing, 6 p.m. And then we go to the Killer Nashville conference where I've got a table on Saturday morning there, and that's in Nashville. And then I go to a subdivision. It was a women's club, Rarity Bay Women's Club. And so they have 300 members themselves, but they're opening it to the entire subdivision, and it's a huge subdivision. So we're going there to talk to them and do some Q&A and then sell some books.
And that's the exciting thing, selling some books for sure. And what do you think you're going to do differently now doing these events versus before? What do you think your changing strategy will be a little bit moving forward?
Yeah,
Like after the experience of the first run.
we kind of stumbled on the question and answer section, and that turned out to be a really good time. And that's what happened to be the link to getting the movie made, because one person in the audience asked, "When's the movie going to come out?" And my publisher was there just to see the launch. And he came by and said, "Well, let's talk about that." And so that's how that evolved. But I get to see what they're looking for, what their feedback is. I'm loving the responses and the reviews on Watergrave, and so I'm anticipating those for the least of these as Abby's story continues to see how they're investing in her. Um, the thing I'm getting that I like the most is that the characters are realistic. Someone said it's not a syrupy, sappy Christian story where everyone becomes a Christian at the end and everything's perfect. It's real people in real situations.
Right. And that's the key thing. Right. And I think that looking at a success one at your event, taking the right pictures. You got to be ready, right? You
Hmm.
see how your album's going. What are you going to do in setup for the next event to kind of give the author saying, I never thought of this when I'm on stage, how I need to get people to film it more. I need to do this, that, and the other. Because your head's spinning, this is the next part of the promotion.
Right, and I'm involved in thinking about all the logistics. So I've got I have 7 kids, so I'm having a child, one of my grown children, at each event doing the videoing and doing the picture taking, so I can focus on the books.
Yeah, I love it. I love this. And think about what else would you do? What else would you give authors tips when they do their first event?
Realistic expectations, but you got to do the work. You got to do the work beforehand. I've texted everyone I know, and asked them to pass that on to their friends. We've email blasted that. We put that on the website. You're promoting that, via all the social media that you do, including those trailers, which I just absolutely love, where they get a kind of a visual picture of Abby and her situations, because I, for one, am a visual person. You can tell me something, but when you show it to me, it just means so much more.
That's the key. And the promotion. And that's the thing. So kind of tell me how you once you schedule an event, what are the logistics you have to do and your team?
Okay. So for each one, how they're selling the books is different. Barnes and Noble, I will provide the books. They handle all of the sales, all the tax, all that, and then they give me back my portion of it. For some of the others, they provide the books and they get, of course, obviously more back because they've invested in the books themselves. And the ones that I'm doing that aren't in a bookstore, then I have to have all the logistics there of how to take in the credit cards, how to actually do the payments and process those. But I get a larger chunk because I've bought the books and then I'm doing them directly.
Right. And doing those directly, huge.
Yes.
Absolutely huge. And the excitement. What about autograph set? Can you get autograph copies on your website?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that because I usually tailor them to who's buying them
Yeah,
through
I think you
me.
just so what you do is you buy 20 books, right? And then we create on your website the ability to buy it directly and you'll mail them a copy with the autograph copy. So we'll think about that. Add
Okay.
that to our list of things to think about,
Yeah.
right? And
The
and,
long
and
and growing list.
long and growing list. The giveaway's over. Now the audiobook. You thank everyone that participated in the contest, and we're
Oh,
going to be
absolutely.
announcing the winners at this weekend, and should have all the books to people by the 25th. But kind of give them that thank you of the response on your social media about it and everything.
Yeah. The publisher provided uh, links to free audiobooks. And so we put that out there, and I was just really tickled and pleased with the response on how many people messaged us via the social media and asked for one, by putting in just the words water grave on there. And so we're going to be sending all the winners their free link to an audio version of Watergrave, and hopefully they'll get involved in that and pass that on. And so I really appreciate those who've invested their time, their energy, and the response that we got from that.
I find it. I too am very pleased to see because at first we were putting it out there, and what does this teach us? Right, the first time we put it out there,
Yeah.
crickets. But after 7 times, what happened?
Yeah. Persistence, persistence, persistence. If you want to be in this business, you have to have it.
But why isn't it that everyone else in marketing doesn't see that, Mitchell?
Well,
It's
I
the
didn't know
long
that
game.
too.
It's not the short game.
Yeah, and it just really is ignorance. You just don't know. Like I said on one of the earlier podcasts, I thought writing the book that was it. Once I finished the book, hey, everyone's going to buy it, and I'll go on to the next one. And it's not. And you have to be uh, unapologetic. I've gone to the last few places. We were in Alabama, and I just kind of dropped the idea that I'm an author, and here's a book, and there's where you can get it. And so you just have to be willing to put yourself out there and believe in your product and believe in yourself.
And here's the thing I learned from Christopher Richards of UX Bright, which really is, and one thing I always take with me is testing it to market. I have these conversations all the time, and it really makes me choose who I want to work with as an agency. I'm in the luxury now to get to choose. Before I didn't get a choose. I said, "Hey, I'll work with you."
Mm-hmm.
But now I look at testing to market. Is your product or service or offering going to resonate with the marketplace? And you've proven it has by getting the movie offer, by being able to create, the buzz of the book and having the book sell and having fans and having, being published. You've proven it, but it wasn't an overnight thing.
No,
This started how many years ago?
1996.
All right, so do the math. Let's do that math. That's 19 years. Mine is 15. It'll be 15 years since on
Yeah, I
December
think you
6th.
missed a decade. It's 29 years,
Oh, oh, sorry about
96 to 25.
Oh my gosh. So,
Yeah.
so how many years? So for me, 15 years, it will be 2007, right? Am I right? No, not 2007, 2009. December 2009, if we're doing the math correctly, right? I'm going on my 16th year of doing this show. Isn't that unbelievable? But again, you did the same thing and it's staying the course. And finally, things are coming into place. This is what I want to try to tell people. It doesn't happen overnight.
No, that thing about overnight success is hogwash.
Your second or third business, absolutely. You're going to
Mhm.
end up having a book that takes off, becomes a New York Times bestselling author. I just feel it. Then guess what? It wasn't, oh my gosh, I just wrote this book and it took off and it's a New York Times
Yeah.
bestselling author. No. Explain why. And then the hours of work you put into this and you're staying the course.
Yeah, and I love the writing time, and I'm getting to love the editing time, and I'm learning to like the promotion, but it's all a part of it. It's everything. If, I write this not for myself, it's not a journal. I write this so people can read it, they can respond to it, it can hopefully impact them in some way. But the only way that's going to happen is if I get it in their hands. And that's where the marketing comes in, and that's where the work comes in. And when you're not gifted in certain areas like social media, like I am, I'm not. That's why I have someone like you who can guide me through that and can do those things for me.
And the website.
Right.
Again, if you can't update your website, and honestly, if you try to do it yourself, you're going to do it wrong. Explain that. You've done it before at times.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are people that have that talent, but it's not me. And you have to know your weaknesses as well as your strengths. And then you have to pull people in that can compensate for those weaknesses.
All right. Mitchell S. Carnes, author dot com. Yes, we still think of Mitchell S. Carnes, author. MitchellSCarnes.com. Someday it'll be available in 2 years.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
by 2 years, that's going to be the perfect time because your movie and streaming series will be out, or your streaming series will be out, and it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
All right. We thank you, Mitchell. Thanks again.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
That's a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show on the Mitchell S.